Hi, girls.
Hi.
Hi. How are ya?
Good. I believe we just went live on YouTube.
All right, then.
All right. My name is Tammy Hager. I'm the principal of Garfield Heights High School, and I would like to welcome you to our Title I Parent Information Session. And I'm going to turn it over to Miss Amanda Sisler, our high school literacy coach.
Hello, good evening. I just want to double check that I can share my screen. Is my screen being shared and everyone can see? Perfect. Okay, good. So then today we're going to review, first of all, Garfield Heights High School's first year of being a Title I school. And so we're very excited for the additional resources and the additional programming, and we're going to review some of that with you tonight. On our call today, thank you, Ms. Hager, for everything. Mr. Townsend, our assistant principal, myself, Ms. Wilson, the family engagement coordinator. I think you've seen Ms. Bailey, and we are so fortunate to have Ms. Saxton as well. So thank you for joining. We're going to be a little bit brief, and I do want to go over some of the meeting protocols. Originally, we thought we were going to be on a Zoom, so the mute yourself part of it on YouTube Live doesn't necessarily apply, but you should know that we do have a chat function, and if you have any questions throughout the meeting, please submit them to the chat. Ms. Bailey and Ms. Wilson will be monitoring the chat and making sure that we're addressing any of your concerns as we go through. In addition, there's going to be a Q&A kind of time at the end, and Ms. Wilson has a survey where you can put information and give us information and feedback on our presentation and also any ideas that you have. So that will all be at the end as well. And those links to those things will be in our YouTube chat and in the description box if you are watching after tonight, just the recording of the meeting. There is an agenda for tonight's meeting, and if you don't have it, you could click it here, and I think Ms. Bailey will have that link in addition to the chat. In the chat, I mean, sorry. Okay.
And
okay, so I'm sorry.
And they may be able to access it through the remind that I sent out.
Oh, yes, and right. And it's also, I believe, on our school webpage, the agenda tonight too. So if you're accessing it there, you can see what we've got going on. The first part, what in the heck is Title I? And so really, we're fortunate enough to receive additional aid through the federal government, and that's what that means. You've probably heard it. The other schools in the district have been Title I for quite some time, or at least a few years, and this is the high school's first year in programming. So we're very excited to start something new. The Title I program serves as a like funding. It's mostly funding, but what we're looking to do is provide funding for additional programming for students who need assistance in language arts and math, and also additional programming for teacher development and family engagement. And so we have a goal with the Title I, and it's very simple. And the goal is use these additional services, use this additional time to improve student achievement. So whatever it is that we can access, whatever resources we have at our fingertips, that's the goal. And that's why we why we have Title I. So what is the funding used for? It's not just a blank check. And so in terms of teacher development, we have several programs that we have already started and are starting. And then in addition, there's even more coming. So these are the programs here. We have Dr. Anita Archer has been working with our district, and we're going to start implementing some of those explicit vocabulary instruction strategies in our classroom. And we're teaching teachers how to use those to get the biggest bang for their buck, basically, in what they're doing with your students every single day. It's very exciting. We're excited about it. Our teachers meet weekly. It's called TBT, that's Teacher Language for Teacher-Based Team. And we look at student achievement, and we look at the practices that we do every day, and in an attempt to collaborate, put all of our brains together and make sure that what we're doing every day is beneficial for the student. We have several consultants that work with our teachers through those teacher-based teams and other professional development opportunities in every content area. We also have resources through the ESC, which is the Educational Service Center. So they come and help and talk education with us and talk teacher strategies and talk data with us so that we can do better and better and better. We have a supplemental educational program. At the high school, we use a program called Read 180. I teach that class. It's wonderful, and we're using it to help students and monitor students and their achievement and kind of push them up when they're in the bubble so that they, instead of either staying stagnant or going down, we're trying to increase their reading achievement scores. In addition, we have Miss Wilson, and some of you may be familiar with Miss Yolanda Hamilton. She's our diversity consultant, and we have different things throughout the year planned, and it's a different kind of year. So Miss Wilson at the end, she'll talk about some of that, but some of the things that we talked about in different ways of getting families involved in school and bridging the gap between what happens in our day-to-day and then what happens at home and how important that is to connect all of that. And so that funding kind of is three prongs in that way. What are we doing with students, teachers, and families? Okay, so part of Title I is something called Parents' Right to be Involved. I have a link here, and I think I can click it. I'm not sure, Miss Bailey, you're gonna have to let me know if my screen will still share, if you guys see that, or if you still see the PowerPoint. You do see it? Okay, good. Okay, so what does this mean? And this link is in our chat. It's also on our Title I website page in the Garfield Heights City Schools website. But really what we have here is for the high school, what in writing, it's a compact, that means something to us. And what is it that we do every day that's going to help our students? And the parents have a right to know that information. And that's what that means. What are we doing? How is my student doing based on that? And how do we communicate that to the parents? And so that's what that means. So I showed you that link, but it's 5 pages long. No one wants me to read that to them, but you have access to it. And so I just wanted you to see that it's there, and that link is in our website. And here's what it means. Whatever we're doing in the school, you have a right to know about it. And you have a right to have a voice in saying how you feel, and if you have any good ideas, or Miss Hager is always wide open door, Mr. Townsend always wide open door to parents. We welcome and want parent feedback. And there's ways that you can get information. It's all here on the slide. Google Classroom's probably the biggest one right now, and Remind 101, because that's how we're teaching your kids. And that's how the content's being delivered to them through Zooms or Google Meets and things like that. But we also had that even before we were virtual learning. So you may not have known that, but now hopefully you do. And you can see what's happening inside your student's classroom every single day. And that's what Title I is about, is bridging that connection and how important that connection is. So here we have it. We have that compact, that 5-page compact, and it's in, again, another 3-pronger. What do teachers do? What is the responsibility of parents, and what are the responsibility of the students? And so for teachers, well, there's 2 things that you should know. The parent-teacher compact is updated every single year, and we need to have parent feedback on that. That's what this meeting is all about, is us letting you know that here's what we're doing at school, and then you get the opportunity to provide feedback. And Ms. Wilson's going to go over some of that as well, and then we have the survey and things like that. So teacher responsibilities, what does that even mean? What are teachers supposed to do? Well, first of all, we have to be masters of our craft. We should be highly qualified, and we should be providing high quality instruction. And we can say, and all of our teachers are certified in the content area they teach. All of our administrators have master's degrees and things like that. And you can see, I think this is still the file cabinet for the parent-teacher compact. When we get to the report card part of it, I'll be able to show you where some of the demographics. But in terms of teachers, we want to make sure that they're providing good instruction and that they're providing good feedback, and that they're providing opportunities for students to be involved in their learning, not just a sit and get kind of thing. And so what about the responsibility of the parents? Again, we review this portion of the compact every single year. That's what this meeting is all about. And for parents, it's super important that at home, that the students have a nurturing learning environment. And there's so much research about that, but what the school wants you to know and what the district wants you to know is we want to help provide some of those things, or in any way that we can. We need parents and teachers and administrators to be in constant communication. We know that the closer together that families and students and school systems work, the better achievement and the better learning outcomes for students. It's just how it is. And so we have opportunities for you to stay informed, and we hope that you stay informed and stay in contact with us. It's very important that students are in their seats, either if their seats are at home, that they're participating in their education. And we really want to help the students at the high school. One of our biggest things is, are we preparing them to be adults and employees and college students and contributing members of society? And so we talk about that in our professional learning communities here, and our teachers and our administrators are talking about that all the time. And we want you guys to be a part of that conversation as the parents and the community. And we welcome that and encourage that. And again, we at the high school level in particular, we really want to aid and assist, in addition to, help with you helping your student transition into adulthood. How am I doing, guys? Okay, good. It's my first time. I hope we're all in this together for real. Okay, and then what about the students? This is their education, right? And as we just spoke, we were talking about transitioning them to the high school or to adulthood. And what does that mean? Really, what we want to see is they're here, that they're ready, that they come, that they know they have a job to do when they either log into their Zoom virtually or show up in our brick and mortar building. We really need the students to follow our school rules so that learning can happen. And we want and need engagement. We want the students to advocate for themselves. And we have a lot of different programming where, and teacher training actually, where we're teaching kids, how do I communicate with the people around me to let them know that I need something, or that I have an idea of my own, or any of those things, without having students show up to school and feel like they don't belong, or they don't know how to be a part of the environment around them. So some of that advocating for themselves and participating in the training for that. In addition, we really hope our students, and we want our students to communicate with you guys. They're the bridge, right? Or the ones who walk the bridge between home and school every day. And as you can see, I didn't finish this slide all the way, just now noticing that after I reviewed it 100 times. We want the students to demonstrate respect for themselves and their communities and their families, right? They're representations of you when they show up to school. They're representations of us when they go out into the community, of both of us, their family and their school. And so we really want them to take ownership of that. Okay, in terms of curriculum, what we teach, that's what this whole slide is about. Really what we're talking about here is what we teach, why we teach it, and really we teach the Ohio Learning Standards at Garfield Heights High School. Everyone in the state of Ohio is supposed to do that, and so we do it too. And with the Title I programming, we are benchmarking our students, or what that means is assessing them. And we're going to talk about that here in a second, called MAP growth assessments is what we do. You guys probably know, because you've heard your students at home, they had just recently took the English and math MAP growth assessments. And what we're doing is we're seeing how are they doing in comparison to those learning standards from the state of Ohio. So I have some things here, some links here for you. All of this stuff is right on our website, but here's the tests that the students are required to take every single year by grade level. Again, this is right on our Title I website, right in the link for the district. At the high school, we have end of course exams, and that's changed. It used to be that each grade's taking a bazillion tests or something like that, but it has changed recently, and this is the updated one. So if your kids have been in public school, you know that they're tested every single year, except for this year because of COVID, but we're not sure what's going to happen coming up this school year. So we're anticipating and we're teaching as if the students will be required to take their tests. And so if you have a ninth grader, uh-oh, I'm seeing chats bang. Are the chats at me? I'm okay? Okay. Okay, perfect, great. Okay, if you have a ninth grader, your ninth grader will take the algebra end of course exam. This is good news because they used to have to take more than just one test. And we know that that's probably not best practice. So the state of Ohio made some really great decisions and said in ninth grade, look, they have to take the algebra test. But you can see in 10th grade, now we get a little bit heftier, and they take the geometry, the English language arts, American history, and biology. Then in 11th grade, they'll take the government. And what we know about state tests, if you didn't already know that, or if you're a first-time high school parent, you get multiple opportunities to pass them if you don't the first time. So it's really important that you know that. If you have anyone who is taking alternative assessment, then they take that assessment all the grades or any of the grades one time. And the students will take an ACT test in 11th grade. And an ACT test is a test, it's like a college entrance test. And so this is how we know, and this is how we measure the student achievement. It's how much are they picking up of what we're putting out there every single day. So it sounds like a whole lot of rigmarole, but it's really actually super important to informing our instruction. Okay. I talked a little bit ago about the high quality teaching that happens, and students, the responsibility of the teachers to be masters of their craft. And in Garfield Heights, we really actually do a wonderful job of ensuring that that's the case. And so the district report card is on the Ohio Department of Education website, and you can see it. Right, I have this handy dandy link, but here it is. So you all know that we did not take tests last spring, so we have a whole bunch of NRs. That really means we didn't take the test. We have no data, but there's way more information on here than just testing. And we don't want you to think, and we are doing a really great job of ensuring and working together and continuing to do that, that we're not just teaching to the test. And so you find other information here, but what we talked about, oh, I guess I was wrong a little bit. You can find the district details. You can look at your schools, our financial data, anything's here. And this link is also on our website, but you can find it on this presentation as well if you wanted to go through. And every single year you can go back and look at other years. You can go back and look at other qualifying data. But one of the things that's in here is that the teachers, 100% of the teachers, 100% of the administrators have master's degrees, 100% of the teachers have degrees, bachelor's degrees in their content area. And that's something we should be really proud of in our school. And that's all here for you. I talked about math growth assessments. What the heck? And we assess our students in grades 9 and 10 because that's where they're mostly tested in the state of Ohio test. You saw that. And so they participate in the MAP test 3 times a year, in the fall, in the winter, and again in the spring. And those are the benchmark assessments. And we just received the fall benchmark results. And we just started working with our teachers and analyzing that data to help us inform instruction. And so that's an ongoing process that happens all year, led by Ms. Hager, Mr. Townsend, and now me as our first literacy coach. Okay, right to know. This is another part of Title I that's a lot of teachers and parents don't know about, but you have a right to know any information. I think I've kind of hinted on it a little bit before, but you have a right to know any information about your students' teachers' qualifications, and if they received the certification that they were supposed to when they graduated school and all of that kind of stuff. And so if you ever wanted that information, I don't know if you guys get this weird thing on it or not. If you ever wanted to know that information, you would contact Mr. Patton, and he's our assistant superintendent. There's his email and the district phone number there for you. You can request what information in terms of the degrees your students, teachers have, or the classroom assistants that they work with and things like that, if you wanted it, but you could get it. And that there's a form that you fill out, and I believe this is the link to the form. Let's see. And Miss Wilson, this is you.
Thank you, Ms. Sizzler. Welcome, families, and thank you for joining us tonight and those families that will tune in later on and watch the recording. My name is Gina Wilson, and I am the Family and Civic Engagement Coordinator for the district. This is my second year in this role. Last year, we really wanted to focus on engaging our families and providing opportunities and ways that they can be involved in their child's school. With everything that hit, family engagement has really taken a shift on how we are approaching families and trying to engage our families and bridging that gap, as Ms. Sizzler mentioned, from home to school. That's going to be very important. And one thing I like to really point out is our families and our parents know our students best. And I think it's very important to build those relationships and welcome families and parents into our building. And, now with being on a virtual platform, welcoming them into our classrooms to see what's going on firsthand. And I really want to reach out to the parents, and I have been communicating with many families in the district, in this case in particular high school. Families want to be involved, they want to be engaged, they want to know what they can bring to the table, and they have great ideas. And I love learning from our families. They have so much to offer, and I want to hear feedback from our parents. 2 weeks ago, I sent out an email inviting all high school parents to be a part of our parent action team. And with this action team, I want to provide a space for families and myself. We can come together and discuss some things that we're going through right now. What are some of the struggles that we've been going through with online learning? What are some of the successes that we've had that we can share with each other, and really provide a space where we can help support each other. Eventually, I want this team or this action team to move towards a strong set of parents and families that can come together and work towards a common goal. And it's really focusing on Epstein's 6 keys of family engagement and how we can bring that into our building. We will work together, come up with ideas, come up with activities. We really want to hear what you want to see in your school. We want to hear what your students are interested in. We want to see how you can be involved. And we really want to create a platform where we can work together in creating this team. If you have not received the email, please feel free to reach out to me. And we can get you on the list. And we plan on creating our first meeting by the end of November. So be looking out for that. Also, we want to hear feedback from parents as well as some things you want to see in our school. We have a new norm now, and trying to create ideas and family engagement opportunities through a virtual platform, it is difficult. And I will be the first to say I don't have all the answers, and I really value our parents and families and their feedback that they bring to the table. So please, at any point you have ideas, things you want to see, just let me know as well. And last point, I'm not going to keep us that long, but I've been really working closely on service providers that we've been working with in the district and providing those mental health services and social emotional learning opportunities for not only our students, but our families as a whole. And this week on Thursday, November 19th at 6 p.m., we will be hosting a town hall with several service providers that will be offering resources and tips and ways to get resources for our students and families. So if you're interested, please tune in, and there will be more information coming out about this week, Thursday. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Gina. That was great. Thank you so much. I didn't know about the town hall, so I'm looking forward to being a part of that as well. Thanks. Last thing, and I've talked a lot about, well, there's 2 things I want to make sure I go over with you. One is the district website, and I believe that it's here. Nope, that's the calendar. That's not it. Our district, I had a link. It's in here somewhere, and we'll put it in the description, I guess, Miss Bailey, for the Title I page, if that's okay. Thank you. I thought it was here, but it's clearly not. We have a form for you to fill out, and it's the beginning stages of our planning. I told you already that we have never had a literacy coach before in the high school, and we haven't been a Title I school. And you just heard the passion in Miss Wilson and getting everybody involved, building bridges, so that these students, our students, grow, not just academically, even though that's obviously the big part of it, but as Garfield Bulldogs, as a part of our family. And Ms. Hager says it to our staff in every meeting that we are a family. And we want our students to feel that. We want our families to feel that this is a community family. And so if you don't mind, please participating by filling out this Google form. It's just information. We're looking for your feedback. We want to know how you want to participate, and any additional feedback you can give us, any great ideas. We're so lucky to be starting something new, and so we get the opportunity to build it. And Miss Wilson and I will go through and we'll reach out to you. She'll get your contact information. And okay, one question, what would diversity be about? Oh, good. Okay, good. So Miss Hamilton is our district, and Miss Wilson, you can participate in this answer too if you didn't see it. Miss Hamilton is our diversity consultant, and we had our first ever last year. We had a diversity night, yeah, and we had a diversity week, and so we're looking forward to planning that again right now. Gina, I don't know if you have more information about what that looks like.
Yes, actually, Ms. Hamilton and I have already started the planning process on what this diversity week would look like. Last year, we really wanted to do something for the district and make sure we highlighted Diversity Week in all of our buildings. But we really thought it was very important to start to focus on Diversity Week early on to see what we can bring to the table for our families and our students and really make it a huge success. And Ms. Scissor, you participated in our Diversity Week last year, and I think we really brought a lot of good things to the table during a short amount of time. So Ms. Hamilton and I are in the process of planning things out. I don't want to give some details yet because we have so many ideas that we want to bring to the table, but with we're kind of playing it by ear with what this pandemic will bring us, and we really want to really plan accordingly. So you will be hearing more about Diversity Week coming up very soon.
In addition to that, we have in terms of what Mr. Hankey has kind of made clear is we don't want diversity in the conversation to be just about 1 week. So instructionally, when we're talking about professional development, we're talking about the inclusion of all learners and into our classroom discussion and our learning activities and things like that. And Ms. Hamilton works with us really closely on that and is continuing to do that as well. And so the community knows that those are ongoing conversations in terms of instructional practices too, not just 1 week of celebration, even though that is one part of it. It's just something that's ongoing with all of us. I hope that answered the question. Were there any more questions, Ms. Bailey? Nope. Okay. So we hope that you can fill out our form. We're looking forward to the feedback. And I think that's everything.
It is. Thank you so much. Thank you to everyone for attending and joining us tonight. Please make sure you fill out the Google form. We look forward to reading them, and we hope everyone stays safe.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
everyone.
Thank you.